crime side, the New York Times side. Staying alive was no job, had second hands. Moms bounced on old men, so then we moved to Shaolin Land. A young youth, you're rocking the go-to. Low goose.
A long time ago in the year 19XX, the video game company Capcom, which had made most of its money and earned most of its fame from arcade hits like 1942 and Commando, wanted to make a bigger splash in the home console market. So, they decided that they needed a brand new IP, one that could potentially grow into one of gaming's juggernauts. A character that could stand toe-to-toe with Nintendo's star plumber. And that game was Mega Man.
あのロックマンが帰ってきた。はい。究極の痛快アクションゲーム、ロックマン2、ドクター・ワイリーの謎。
Mega Man, known as Rockman in Japan, is a series known for its smooth as butter gameplay, innovative boss design, and stellar soundtrack. Over 30 years later, and Mega Man is one of video games' most recognizable series. It's had its ups, its downs, its copycats, and even its successors. But even after all these years, the world is still in love with the Blue Bomber. And I think that's owed in no small part to the amazing art direction of the series. Borrowing from things like Astro Boy and Casshern, Mega Man has one of those timeless designs. It's slick, cute, though able to fight when needed, and I think that more so than any other video game from that time period, Mega Man is the one that would translate seamlessly to animation. But unfortunately, we all know how that turned out. Yes, the Mega Man cartoon produced by Ruby Spears is what we got, and well, it's less than we had hoped for. And it was actually my first experience seeing Mega Man, since I didn't grow up with the games. I remember walking into an arcade and seeing Mega Man in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and my kid brain just thought that this was a game that had every character ever in it. I saw Mega Man, I saw Spider-Man, that was enough. And that enforced my idea that Mega Man was really just a cartoon, although the version I saw of him in the game looked a whole lot better. As the years went on, I would encounter Mega Man NT Warrior, get into the anime, the games, and eventually the original games as well. This was when I really wanted to see a Mega Man show that looked like his original design, but it seemed like that was a wish that would never be granted. That is, until I came across a little OVA series starring our blue hero. Mega Man Upon a Star, or as it's known in Japan, Rockman, Hoshi ni Nagayo, is a 3-part OVA series produced by Ashi Productions, who are probably most well known for their work on the original Vampire Hunter D OVAs, and the prolific magical girl series Minky Momo. Yes, that Minky Momo that that one song from My Life as a Teenage Robot is based on.
Minky Momo. The Minky Momo is an attitude. The Minky Momo is a mellow mood.
However, they've also done a lot of work for a bunch of other cartoons as well, including The Legend of Zorro, and even the Ruby Spears Mega Man. In fact, if you look at the test footage shown for that cartoon, you can tell that both it and this OVA series share a ton of similarities, only adding to the stinging realization that this is what they took from you. But at least we got this, and as the OVA starts, it looks pretty promising. We see Mega Man fighting against several recognizable robot masters, with some pretty good animation, and it feels like I've gotten the Mega Man show of my dreams when suddenly...
Utah, you better get to bed, or Mom's gonna get mad.
I told you, just a little bit longer.
Yes, it turns out that this OVA takes place in the real world, and Mega Man is just a character in a video game being played by Yuta. However, after a late night gaming session ends with Yuta falling asleep with the game on, Dr. Wily, the main bad guy of the series, uses this chance to escape from the game world and go out and cause some havoc, which I thought was really weird. Like, no magic bolt of lightning, no power surge, he just leaves? Has a kid in this world never fallen asleep playing video games before? Anywho, once Yuta wakes up, Mega Man also leaves the TV, along with Rush, his robot dog. He explains to Yuta that he has to stop Wily, and Yuta offers to help, alongside his sister Akane. So it seems like a classic fictional character in the real world story. It's been done plenty of times, but as this one went on, I noticed something weird about it. They talk a lot about the social and historical aspects of Japan.
This rush hour traffic is just hopeless.
Mega Man, how come everyone is sitting on the passenger side?
You're wrong, Rush. In Japan, traffic moves left to right, and so most of the driver's seats are on the right side. It's the opposite from the US.
Yep. Although this OVA was animated by Ashi Productions, it was presented by the Japan Center for Intercultural Communications, which makes this a series of educational OVAs. There's always a catch, isn't there? But just because it's educational doesn't mean it's bad. You actually get to learn about a bunch of interesting Japanese holidays and events, like Japanese New Year's, Setsuban, and Tanabata, otherwise known as the Star Festival, from which this OVA series takes its name. And when you're not learning about Japan, you're in for some pretty solid Mega Man action. The gang's all here in this show too. Besides Mega Man, Wily, and Rush, you also get to see Roll, Dr. Light, Proto Man, even Beat and Eddie make an appearance. Of course, you also have the kids Yuta and Akane, who are original characters made for the OVA. You might think you're in for a bad time with them around, but they're pretty inoffensive characters, if not a bit boring. Even the voice acting isn't that bad.
No one's on your side anymore, Wily.
I've got one last surprise for you, Mega Man.
Which I know a lot of people will probably disagree with me on. Listen, I've heard bad dubbing.
Ah! No, this isn't happening! There's no reason for me to go on. What? What am I fighting for?
This is standard dubbing. I don't think people remember what bad dubs sound like anymore. But of course, the main standout of this series is the way it looks. It nails the classic Mega Man style down to a T, and it's such a treat to get to see them all move around. I also really love the colors they use in it. Makes it feel really nostalgic. The series consists of 3 separate OVAs that all basically have the same plot. Wily escapes the TV, Mega Man stops him. Though episode 3 takes a sort of dark turn, when after traveling through time, Mega Man and Roll discover that Wily has basically wiped out all of Japan. But they end up stopping him, so no big deal. But for a brief moment, there were a lot of dead people in this OVA. And that's basically Mega Man Wish Upon a Star. A fun little adventure with the super fighting robot, with some cool cultural facts about Japan thrown in as a bonus. I think it was definitely made with kids in mind though, so unless you're already a Mega Man fan, it might not be for you. Unless you really want to know what Shinchi Go-san is. It's a rite of passage day celebrating the growth of children, in case you actually were interested. This OVA was made in 1993. However, it wouldn't see a release until 2002 in Japan and 2005 in America. To be honest, I'm surprised we even got it. We don't even have an official dub of the Animal Crossing movie yet, and Nintendo is way bigger than Capcom. But I sure am glad we got it. Though we would never see another full series like this, we got to see animation similar to it in the cutscenes from Mega Man 8 and in the Japan-only point-and-click adventure game, Super Adventure Rockman. And yeah, those look great too. Though, as of right now, the latest Mega Man cartoon is the CGI one from Man of Action. And yeah, I haven't really seen a lot of it, but I'm not really that interested either. Even though I grew up with the Ruby Spears Mega Man and NT Warrior, I still really love the look of the classic series. And I hope that one day the Blue Bomber makes his way back to animation, in the style that he shines in.
世界の戦士と戦うために最強パワーを手に入れた。ロックマン6史上最大の戦い。ファミコン用ソフトで新発売。
ロックマンワールド4もよろしくね。
Capcom